All right, and we're back with another edition of Scotty's
Critiques.
Scotty. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Wow. It's been a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back with the Scotty No Show. Gosh. That's gonna throw me off all day now.
Uh-huh.
Um
That's all right.
so just a little bit of a reminder, we haven't said this in a while, but we have a Facebook page, we have a YouTube page, and a Twitter page. It's at Scotty Knows Pod on Twitter, and then it's the Scotty No Show on everything else. Go ahead and give those a look at. But yeah, Ian's back again for 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to work my way back into that co-host position.
All right. And how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just did a couple 11-hour days. So yeah, getting some overtime in. Still here. I'm in the same place. For this might be the last time, but
boy,
we'll see. We'll see. How many different places can I be on the show?
Yeah. We're gonna honestly, let's just get it out of the way. Let's start off with the sad news of the week.
That hit me pretty hard.
Yeah, Norm Mcdonald passing away at the age of 61, apparently after a 9-year battle with cancer, 10-year battle with cancer.
Yeah, something like that. He looked pretty good. He always, kept that Norm sense of humor where he was always really deadpan, but man, he's one of my favorite comedians, and it cracked me up every single time. Like, he would like whiff a joke on purpose, and like the Bob Saget roast he did where he just told not jokes. It's just like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
I just watched it. Do you have a favorite Norm Mcdonald joke moment?
Other than the one that I did, I forgot about this. I remember watching it when I think Netflix had Saturday Night Live at the time, and I was going through all the Saturday Night Lives from when I was born on, and I had gotten to, I think, somewhere around 94, 95, and Norm was the host of Weekend Update, and Norm goes, and on the college charts, the top of the college charts says better than Ezra, and they're top of the charts, and at number 2, Ezra. It's just so dumb,
and that was all of his jokes. My favorite Norm joke was the Moth joke.
Yep, that's a lot of people's favorites.
Because it's just so dumb, but it cracks me up, and it's ridiculously long, and but yeah, I'm gonna miss hearing that voice. His podcast was very funny too. If you ever listen to that.
Yeah.
Norm Mcdonald has a TV show. It was pretty funny. The Norm Show was pretty funny.
Yep.
It wasn't on very long, but
I think you showed a clip of that the last time I was at your house.
It was either that or it was the Norm Mcdonald's sports show.
That's it.
Comedy Central had for a minute, and like it was so dumb, but man, that guy's voice, that guy's delivery, gonna be a bummer not having that around anymore.
Oh yeah, but the good thing about him being in the industry that he was is you can go back and rewatch everything that he did.
Yeah, and he all the way from his brief role in Billy Madison all the way to Dirty Work, his most recent stand-up stuff. I think that was Adolf Hitler Has a Dog.
Yeah.
And like the Mike Tyson mysteries, like he does voice acting in that. Man, that cracks me up too.
And let's not forget his when you think of Saturday Night Live and you think of skits, probably one of the top ones you think of is Jeopardy. And him, and him as Burt Reynolds / Turd Ferguson. Holy crap!
It's a classic, and his Weekend Update stuff, so funny.
Yeah, I was watching a thing of clips of his, and it was a joke of his from Weekend Update, and it was real estate mogul Donald Trump announced that he is getting a divorce from his wife, Marlo Maples, who he's been married to for the past 3.5 years. Trump said that they had some irreconcilable differences. Mainly, she turned 30. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
But there is something I wanted to lighten the mood up a little bit, maybe a little bit. For the first time in 17 years, Rolling Stone has redid their 500 greatest songs list.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Now we're not going to go through all of them, but I saw the first one and I'm like, what the hell? So are you ready for number 500?
Yeah.
Stronger by Kanye West.
Interesting. I mean, the thing is, like with these music ones, it's like there's been music around forever, and like I like Stronger. It would be my top 500. It was tough to pick five covers this week, so I mean, picking the 5 best songs of all time are 500. That's no easy task, and I could see Stronger being up there on mine.
Okay, so I'll in the first couple, I'll share you some highlights. 497 is Truth Hurts by Lizzo. What the hell?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's top 500. It's kind of
495. I feel like this is way higher. Should be way higher. You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Fucking love that. But 494, honestly, one of the greatest songs of all time, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. How the hell is that so low?
Well, I mean, like it's been around since, I'm sure cavemen were banging on stuff.
Yeah.
Making music. So
yeah.
It would probably be on there for me, but I don't know where it would be. But
I would suggest going to rollingstone.com and checking that out. Because it will just make you angry and it'll make you think of your top 500. And then you'll realize probably around the time you get to like 25 that you're like, well, shit, I'm running out of steam. I can't remember 500 songs.
Yeah. Well, or like you get done with it and it's like, what about that one?
Yep. That's us every week on the chat. We would like to send a big congratulations to a couple of professional wrestlers. Big E is your new WWE champion.
Congratulations, Big E.
Yep. And Tommaso Ciampa is your new NXT champion. At the end of last night's NXT, as we're taping this, it's Wednesday night. At the end of last night's NXT, he was confronted by some guy named Braun Breaker. You might know his father, Rick Steiner.
Yeah. They look
exactly
Apple didn't fall. Yeah, Apple didn't fall far from the tree on that one.
Although his body is built more like his uncle's.
Yeah, God, those Steiner brothers were just iconic.
Yeah,
they're hoots too. So man, it's even better. They were so fun to watch. Like I always forget about the Steiners, but yeah, they were fun.
One of my favorite Steiner brother stories is there was like a robbery somewhere in the Georgia area, and Scott Steiner stopped it, and they interviewed him on TV. And because he owns the Shoney's down there in Ackworth, they said local businessman Scott Steiner, and I thought that was the most funny thing.
Oh yeah, local businessman.
Yeah. Let's head to the NFL. How'd you feel about your Jags?
It'll be revealed in like when you go for a keynotes, but
well, I mean, this is keynotes.
Okay, I didn't feel bad about him. Trevor Lawrence is kind of all over the place, but he did throw for more, like I think the 4th most yardage out of a rookie quarterback ever. He threw a lot. He was all over the place, and some of that was the line. I think some of that was his nervousness, and he had his guys had some drops. So overall, I was kind of impressed with Trevor Lawrence. I wasn't crazy impressed with the Jaguars. They did put up points. Their defense looked real bad. And they were making way too many, having too many players on the field a couple times, having to burn through those timeouts to avoid the delay of game. It's that's the high school stuff. You shouldn't be making that. And Urban Meyer, if he's such a good coach, what's going on there?
I mean, he's flirting with USC, even though he denies it.
Yeah.
So the Vikings lost as predicted on this show.
Yeah, man. That was a good game, though. I mean, there were some good games. The Jags Texans one was one. The Vikings Bengals was a pretty good game.
The Packers game was not. Aaron Rodgers looked like shit.
I saw if you threw a football into the dirt every play, you would have a higher pass rating than Aaron Rodgers did on that.
Yep.
And I have this one friend that loves the Packers, and he's just no, man, he's the best quarterback ever. It wasn't his fault. I'm like, it looked like his fault on a lot of them.
Yeah. There's a theory going around that he's kind of purposely trying to sabotage the Packers.
I wouldn't put it past him, but I think he's a better person than that. But I think stranger things have happened, and the Packers have kind of screwed him over year after year.
You spend enough time with Miles Teller in the summertime, you're going to learn some acting lessons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Bears, they lost to the Rams, but most importantly, they looked way better when Justin Fields was out on the field.
It was a pretty that was a pretty good game as well.
Yeah.
I think the Bears look like the team out of the North right now, but after one game, I mean, the Vikings had no defense. Aaron Rodgers looked real bad, and the Lions looked okay for the Lions, but
they need to start Justin Fields sooner rather than later.
Yeah, apparently so.
The team that looked honestly like the best team in the NFL last week was the Arizona Cardinals. Who the hell thought that?
I mean, I wouldn't. You did. I picked them to win the division, but game one, they just looked real good. And I don't know. We'll see. That's a very competitive division anyway. So
everybody was 1-0.
Yeah. As opposed to a couple divisions where about
we don't need to talk about those divisions.
The poor South and the poor North.
Monday Night Football happened. The Raiders beat the Chargers, but not the Chargers, but the Ravens. By the way, I was right about the Chargers. Hooray me!
They beat the football team, so that they're not very good either. So,
they not only did they beat the football team, but they might have ended Ryan Fitzpatrick's career.
Fitzmagic is kind of boom or bust and always has been.
I mean, a hip injury at his age.
No.
Yeah, but the Raiders beat the Ravens in overtime. As great as the game was, I think the Manning cast, the Manning version of the broadcast was way better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Did you see that?
I did not. I didn't tune in for that part. I don't remember what I was doing on Monday evening.
Okay. But there was a moment where Peyton put like a very undersized Ravens helmet on his head. Just silly. He put on a visor and started breaking down plays. There was a fire alarm at halftime in Eli's building. Wherever Eli was.
Those two, I mean, that should be on until like the end of time, those two together.
Agreed. And they had a bunch of the first half they had Ray Lewis join them. Mm-hmm. Second half they had Travis Kelce join them in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter they had Russell Wilson. And
Okay.
Russell Wilson actually sounded way more interesting in that than I've ever heard him in any interview.
He conducts himself pretty well, and he
does.
Doesn't. He's not a personal guy on those interviews.
I do love Peyton was, because at the same time as that was happening, he asked where like Sierra was, and Sierra was at the Met Gala wearing like a jersey dress of Russ's and his Super Bowl ring.
Sure.
And Peyton was like, yeah, that should have been mine. The ring that is, not Sierra, the ring.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence of the Cowboys got injured in practice today. I think it's like a broken foot or something like that.
Yeah, season ending.
Oh, I saw 6 to 8 weeks.
I thought I saw season ending, but maybe they switched it on there.
Yeah, but I mean, best player on the Cowboys wouldn't be a Cowboy season without either DeMarcus Lawrence or Sean Lee getting injured. So
yeah.
The primetime games this week: Thursday night football tomorrow night, as we're taping this, probably this morning as you're listening. It's the New York Giants against the Washington football team.
I think it's got to be the football team if they can shut down Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. That could be a crapshoot. That's a crappy game anyway. Yeah. So, is that in Washington?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll go. I'd say Washington. I think I'll predict that they shut down the run game, and that I think it'll be close, but
I think Daniel Jones will have yet. I saw something where it's like Daniel Jones has played in something like 26 games and he's fumbled the ball 33 times or something.
That's amazing. That is an amazing stat. Okay, and like how can anybody call him a loser when he goes to his job every day, does the exact opposite of what he's supposed to, and still drives home in a Bentley?
Yeah.
That guy's doing it right.
Yeah. Holy cow. One thing that I noticed, because I noticed a couple of different things week one, is you forget what players are on what teams. I forgot Kenny Golladay went to the Giants.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing that.
Of course, Washington football team, they had Scary Terry McLaurin. Uh-huh. He had probably the catch of the weekend. He like tipped his head like clear back and caught it. Oh my God. Sunday night football, it's the Kansas City Chiefs rolling into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Oh boy.
I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I would agree.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Other than Lamar Jackson, the Ravens literally have no running game.
Yeah. And if he keeps playing the way he did on the week one and has in his career, he's going to get injured pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. And historically speaking, I feel like Mahomes owns this matchup.
Probably. Maybe Jackson, though, has something to prove, but I just don't. I think it's too early for the Chiefs to drop one.
Yeah. And then your Monday night football game. I mean, you want to talk about stinker in the Thursday night game. Monday night, you have the Detroit Lions rolling into Green Bay.
It's a stinker game, but man, like the NFC North, like that's all those teams are such rivals. Like, and I think it's because like I grew up in South Dakota, like you did, like most of our listeners. Yeah, like it's a whether you like or hate both of those teams, that's a fun game if you're in the market. I think it's the Packers.
It's always the Packers against Detroit in Green Bay.
Yeah. So
up until a few years ago, the Lions had beat the Packers in Lambeau in like 20 9 years or something.
Yeah,
like
I think I remember that game.
Yeah. We're going on to the MLB before we get to college football.
Okay.
Ryan Braun announced his retirement today. He's the Brewers leader in a lot of different categories. One of my favorite players, one of the guys that made me a Brewers fan. The other being Prince Fielder, of course, and
Of course,
and Niger Morgan also, and CC Sabathia. While we're at it,
Morgan and Braun are like notorious shitheads.
I know.
Braun leads the Brewers in like most PED busts.
He was,
and Morgan might lead in fights.
That's probably true. But your thoughts on Braun? I mean, you kind of already said it.
He's cool. He was a player that was like making baseball interesting to me when baseball wasn't that interesting. Between him and Ryan Howard for the Phillies, like the long ball wasn't a huge thing when those guys were in the league together, but those two were hitting dingers like every game. So how old is he?
Braun, maybe 36.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he had a good career. I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy, but I think he's
in the Brewers Hall of Fame. He's probably going to get his number retired.
Yeah, well, Brewers Hall of Fame, sure, one thing.
But
yeah, I think so long it's been a good career when you are healthy and not doing PEDs. So
I do have to laugh. His suspension, I had bought tickets to go see him play in Milwaukee, and he got suspended like a couple of days later.
Like, how do you like a guy like that? I mean, I get it because he's good, but
yeah,
it's like, man, this guy's an ass.
I mean, how do Twins fans love Nelson Cruz?
Boy, how bad are the Twins?
I know, right?
Like, what did they finish? They're projecting to like finish like 300.
Yeah,
and they say,
correct me if I'm wrong, don't the Tigers have a better record?
Yes, they do. I think Twins are at the bottom.
Okay.
And so it's like one of the things that they say in MLB is when you play that many games, you're going to win a third, you're going to lose a third, and getting into the playoffs depends on what you do with that third. Mm-hmm. They lost all of that third, and then they lost the games they were supposed to win too.
Yeah.
Twins suck. I don't know. Like, I feel bad for their fans, but like, they're terrible.
Yeah. Christian Yelich is giving out 10,000 tickets to go see the Brewers play, I think, against the Cardinals this weekend. I would think it's against somebody. But yeah, 10,000 tickets Christian Yelich is giving out.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that's something like I'd like to see more of. That's such a baller move. Mm-hmm. Like that's so cool.
Yeah. I guess we can address whatever you want to call that Texas game. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I was busy at a high school football game that night. So
it's probably a good thing you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
My God, dude.
Was it bad?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was like, Scotty is going to be bummed.
I mean, it is what it is. But my 5 college games this week, and it was kind of hard to lower it to just 5. There's quite a few games this week. Mm-hmm. But the first one, Fox is going to be in town for this. Nebraska is going to play number 3 Oklahoma in a reigniting of one of the greatest rivalries in college football. However, Oklahoma is favored by 22 points.
Yes, that's Oklahoma looked pretty good.
Yeah. So Nebraska, good luck. Although, you want to know a little thing? Every place that Fox has been for the big noon kickoff, Wisconsin and Ohio State. last week.
Uh-huh.
The home team has lost.
I mean, you never know. Nebraska looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think that's a blowout.
I
bet like Nash gets some playing time though.
Possibly. Another number 2 game. It's number 15 Virginia Tech going into Morgantown to play West Virginia. I find this to be an interesting game because I feel like this was a rivalry at some point.
Maybe. I think I'll take the Mountaineers in that one.
I'm gonna take the Hokies.
All right. But both of those teams are like always like sneaky good. Like they're sleepers. Mm-hmm. They'll knock out other good teams. But I mean, it's been a while since either of them have been like among the best. So yeah, that's a fun game.
This might be a blowout in the making, possibly. I don't know. Number 1 Alabama at number 11 Florida in the swamp.
Florida looked okay, but Bama looks unstoppable this year. Yeah. It could be close. I could see. I mean, Bama usually drops one to a conference rival, or I guess I don't know if Florida's a rival, but a conference team.
Yeah.
During the season, so Florida seems like as good a team to do it as any.
I think Florida does need to shore up their quarterback situation. Sometimes having 2 quarterbacks is not as good as having one. So, number 4, we have number 22 Auburn going into Happy Valley to play number 10 Penn State. Auburn and Penn State. That is an interesting matchup.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough call. You have a perennial contender in the Big Ten and a contender, maybe not perennial, but Auburn's good more often than they're not. So that's a tough one. What would you say on that one?
I would say Penn State because Bo Nix sucks. He's not that good of a quarterback.
No, I think Penn State gets it done this week too.
Yeah. Number 5, we have number 19, Arizona State going into, I think it's Provo. Number 23, BYU, fresh off of a win against Utah.
That was a good game too.
I know. So many good games.
I live next door to a big BYU fan. Okay. And so he was I could hear him screaming at the TV. It was pretty good.
I found something interesting out. I think he's either a wide receiver or a running back. BYU has a player by the name of Gunnar Romney.
Gunnar Romney.
Yeah, I wonder who he's related to.
Couldn't tell you. Is it Gunnar Johnson?
God dang it. But I believe he's either the nephew or grandson. I don't really know which he is. But yes, of Mitt Romney, in case you were wondering. We're gonna go into a little bit of a what grinds my gears segment.
Yeah, I actually wrote it down to make sure that I remembered to remind you.
I think you know what I'm about to say.
I do.
So South Dakota State, my alma mater, even though kind of didn't actually graduate, but we don't talk about that.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's a school that I went to, a school that I love. They decided to take $20 million, which that's not the problem. The problem is that Frost Arena which is where they played basketball games, is getting renamed. Like, I'm okay with, doing the renovations and stuff and making it look a little bit more modern, but you got to keep the name. It's been like that. Like when my dad was going to college there, probably when was your dad a SDSU guy?
Yep.
So I'm guessing Frost was just getting built.
I don't know. Let me look it up
because they were playing at the barn until Frost Arena came into existence.
Yeah. So that is a good question. I don't know how old Frost Arena is. 1970 to 1973 it was built.
Yeah. So that was when my dad was in college there. So
yeah, my dad was in college when it was built. So
yep. So I mean, yeah, it's been like that for, doing math in my head, 50 years.
Yeah. I think I was in Frost when I was 1998 or 1999. I went to a SDSU versus NDSU duel. It was a pretty, actually, it might have been 2000 because John Madsen was on SDSU's team. And then I wrestled in Frost a couple times.
You did? I think I was at one of those.
You might have been. I usually did pretty well in that gym because I liked it. I liked that. It's a cool arena, my dad went there. It had a lot of history for that. I always wrestled really well in the Stanley County arena as well.
Oh yeah,
just because I think it was a pride thing, but
yeah, it's also a site of probably one of the moments I try and forget, but we don't need to talk about that.
Sure, no.
I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Quite likely.
It involves a teammate of mine. Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't rename Frost at all. And it brings to mind, I mean, there's so many things like the Broncos Stadium. Do you call it Mile High too?
Yeah, I've always called it Mile High.
Yeah, it's not Empower Field at Mile High. It's just Mile High.
When I saw Kenny Chesney, like on the ticket stub, it said Kenny Chesney and Thomas Rhett at Mile High. It didn't say Empower Stadium. So
yeah, and or Miller Park being changed to American Financial Field or something like that.
Yeah, that's one I don't like either.
Miller, and it's still on Miller Park Drive, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's tough with that. Obviously, if that's like how, I don't know, that's a good like ethics question. Is do you sacrifice a name that means something to you to have a nicer facility?
Yeah. Well, they tried calling it the Mall of America Field at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, but like everybody kept calling it the Metrodome.
Yeah. Yep.
If
you add too many syllables, like nobody's gonna call it that. No. Nobody, like American Finance, whatever, is a terrible name because it takes too long. Miller Park that's a catchy thing. I mean,
or as the Cubs fans call it, Wrigley North. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Cubs and the Brewers, by the way, that play this weekend.
See, there it is. I knew it was somebody in the division.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that irks me the most, do you know what they call the Pepsi Center now?
I do, but I can't recall off the top of my head.
It's the Ball Arena.
Ball Arena, yeah, that's it.
That's so dumb.
That's not a good name.
That's so bad.
That's not a good name.
Oh my God. Like, I can understand if it's like a new stadium, like a brand new stadium, but if it's an existing stadium, you shouldn't ever change the name.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get to our best covers draft now. This was kind of something that we kind of have been beating around the bush and talking about since we started this thing.
Yeah, I listened to most of my picks before the show started, and I feel pretty good about them. But are you picking the best or in your mind or your favorites?
Favorites. Because it's always favorites.
Yep, I went with favorites as well.
So,
and I also went with, because I did Google some.
Yeah.
Because I just like out of curiosity. And if I didn't know it was a cover, I didn't pick it.
Yeah. I feel like it's way too early to be picked. Way too recent to be picked.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just go right ahead and say it. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but have you heard the "I've Been Everywhere" cover by LA Rats?
I've heard a lot of covers from that song. Is it the same lyrics?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I don't know that I have.
do you know who LA Rats is?
No.
It's a super group, and it is like a drummer from Black Sabbath, a guitarist from Marilyn Manson, Nikki Sixx,
Whoa.
and Rob Zombie on vocals.
Dang.
Yeah, and they've been playing that on the Capital City Rock here, and it's freaking awesome. I love it.
Nice. I haven't heard it, but I'll
Yeah,
have to check it out.
yeah. It kind of fits you know, whatever you want to call Rob Zombie's aesthetic is.
Yeah. Yep.
But I believe I go first last week.
I went first last week, so you can have the
Okay.
You can have the pick this time.
Oh. Okay.
First overall, don't blow it.
Well, if that's the case, I actually have mine tiered. My choice is tiered. I have 4 tiers. The first tier is the Pop Goes Punk tier.
Okay.
And then we've got the country music tier.
Interesting. Okay.
And
I didn't pick any country songs.
And then we've got a kind of a 2 random tiers.
Okay. What are the random? Are they called just random tier 1, random tier 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I am going to go with "Hallelujah" by Jeff Buckley.
Okay, that's a good pick. It wasn't on mine, but I think that looked like a pretty consistently selected song for it.
Yeah. Of course, the original by Leonard Cohen is great. I mean, but I believe Jeff Buckley's is the one. Is that the one that's in Shrek?
Yes. It's that one. And it's powerful. The Leonard Cohen one. I mean, that was such a huge song to so many people too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I thought about it. I didn't pick it. I'm glad because I didn't have first pick. But yeah, good choice.
Okay. And your first choice.
Okay. I got my 5 picked. Are all top 5 picked. I just don't know where I'm gonna go with it yet. I kind of also had mine in tiers with genres. Okay. You could pick so many songs from this band and put it on there. Like Newfound Glory has so many good covers. Many good covers.
They have a bunch of albums that are dedicated just to covers.
Yep. And so the one that I'm gonna go with, the vocals, with the way it harmonizes, like I still get goosebumps sometimes listening to it. I love the song anyway, the original one, and I've liked about every cover I've ever heard of it. And so I'm gonna go with "The Promise" by Newfound Glory.
Okay, I feel like I know that song.
Okay, so you've seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah,
you know, the scene where
at the end
where they play
with the tetherball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's a fun fact: the producer from Napoleon Dynamite from South Dakota.
Really?
Yep.
Another kind of fun fact: when I was at Wall Drug, I worked with somebody who went to the high school that they filmed at.
In Idaho?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Preston, nice. I think is the name of the town, Preston, Idaho.
That sounds right. It's based on Edgemont.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So one of my friends, guy that I work with on a fire
God
crew.
forbid, does that make me Kip?
I can see that, me riding a bike and pulling you on roller skates, as so you can go to karate class.
Yeah, and I would be the one who would fly in a very very beautiful woman named LaFonda to come hang out with me.
That is a you move. That is. Although I kind of got the Uncle Rico stash going on right now, so
yeah, true.
But yeah, that's my number one pick. If you haven't heard it, check it out after the podcast. It's catchy, it's ear garbage, like, but man, it's nice.
Yep. Number two.
So this is the most recent song that I listened to. I listened to it in the shower. And I think I'm getting older, not because of certain, because things start hurting, but because I'm listening to more and more Bob Seger.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to go with Turn the Page by Metallica.
Okay.
I like Metallica. I kind of hate Metallica. But I do really like that song. I always have. It's slow, it's serious, it shreds, like that's a good workout song.
I can't remember. Do you guys get extra down in that area?
Kind of. We get it a little bit. Most of the time I'm just listening to Spotify on my Bluetooth. But
back in probably the mid to late 2000s, they used to have mandatory Metallica where they would play nothing but Metallica for like 2 hours.
I don't think they do it for 2 hours anymore, but they do still have that mandatory Metallica. It might be like they have to play a song at this time of day or something.
Okay. All right. They actually have a couple of different covers that you could have picked.
Yeah. Whiskey in the Jar was also up there.
That's the one I was thinking of.
But I think Thin Lizzy does a good job with that too. So I couldn't decide what I wanted to pick.
So I'm going to go into the country category. I'm torn between two. But I'm going to go with the one that I saw in concert. I'm going to go with Drink You Away by Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
Yes. It was on his 2020 album. He performed it at, I think it was like the CMAs with Stapleton, with Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, they did two covers that night. Do you remember what the other one was?
Oh shoot, I do. Because I listened to it a lot, but the name slips me right now. I can't think of it. Hit me with it.
It's Tennessee Whiskey by George Jones.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Yep. Okay, I forgot that they did that.
Yep. So yeah, that's my pick. I know you probably don't. Are you even aware of that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Chris Stapleton a lot.
Okay. Are you aware of Justin Timberlake's kind of little foray into country music?
I am aware. I don't know if I'm supportive.
Okay.
What am I supposed to say? Yeah, don't make cool songs like Sexy Back and My Love and or Dirty Pop with NSYNC. Yep.
Which I think it was
start being a shitty or mediocre country singer.
I think it was last week. Justin asked on Twitter like what the top 3 songs were to Future Sex Love Sounds. And
that's a good album, but that's
a fun
question.
I know, because I think it was like the 15-year anniversary of it or something like that. And so I chose What Goes Around Comes Around in the top song. That is a tough question. Number 2, I have Love Stoned.
I always thought that like I got a lot of airtime, but I thought that was an underrated song on an album that was all hits.
Yeah. And then number 3, I had Summer Love.
I have to be feeling it. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I don't. Love Stone, what goes around comes around for sure. I think I gotta go with Sexy Back. There's something about that.
Sexy and when Back, or what's the one that he did with T-Pain? Or not T-Pain, T.I. He did one with T.I.
That I don't think that's on that album. Oh no, the Let Me Talk to You.
Yeah, no. I think so.
Well, T.I. is on What Goes Around Comes Around.
Oh,
or not what? That he's on Love Stone. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's Dead and Gone too, but that wasn't on the album.
Oh,
I don't think. I think that was off T.I.'s album.
Okay, but yeah, that's my number 2 is Drink You Away by JT. Number 3. This is where it actually gets really tough. I'm gonna go to the Pop Goes Punk category. And I'm going to go with Bad Romance by Artist versus Poet.
Okay. That's a good cover. That's a really good cover.
Yeah. I don't know much about Artist versus Poet, but I know that version of Bad Romance, I believe it kicked off, I think it was either 2 or 3 of the Pop Goes Punk series. And it's like the first song that you hear. It's either that or the cover of Just the Way You Are that starts it off.
Okay.
It's that CD.
Gotcha.
But Bad Romance, hell of a way to like just introduce yourself to a different audience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot pick Torn again. That would make 3 podcasts. But Torn by Hands Like Houses, which I've also now talked about on 3 podcasts. I love that song, but I'm not gonna pick it.
Oh man.
What I am gonna pick is another iconic song. I like it. My brother has liked it. The McClanahans like it. It is Take on Me by Real Big Fish.
Ooh.
Got to go into the ska a little bit. The Scotty ska fans know that I love ska.
Yeah.
And so I gotta give Real Big Fish some love. They also do a cover of The Promise, which probably would have been Bryce's favorite. But yeah, that's I'm gonna go with Real Big Fish, Take on Me.
Okay. Nice.
That way I've now done a rock cover, a pop cover, or pop punk kind of cover, and now I've done a ska cover.
Wait. So far that I've got you down for is The Promise, Turn the Page, and Take on Me.
Yep.
Am I missing one?
I haven't given my 4th yet.
Okay. So number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to go with another song by a band that has stayed pretty consistently good with their sound. They don't switch anything up too much. I'm going to go with 99 Red Balloons by Goldfinger.
Ooh. Okay.
That song is so fun. And I like the song Anyway by Nina or Nina.
Yep.
I don't but that song, how it starts like real slow, real gradual, and then the lyrics start and there's just a guitar with it, and then it just kicks ass. So that's what I'm going with for my number 4 pick.
Now I don't believe I've ever heard that. Do they speak German in that?
They do
really?
Speak German for a line, which is, and not, those guys aren't German.
No. But I'll be honest, I prefer the German version of 99. I believe it's called 99
Luftballons.
Yep. Yeah. I prefer that. Okay. I'm going to have, you've given me 2 covers to listen to. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. bring cool things, cool ideas to you, Scotty Millard, and to our listeners.
Yep.
All 3 of them.
Come on now.
All 33 of them.
It's a little bit more like it, but
yeah. All 3,000 of them.
There we go. So my number 4 pick, I am going to go with a song that you may not know is a cover. Actually, yeah, you do, because I feel like it was Roberta Flack that did the original. It's Killing Me Softly by the Fugees.
Ooh, I didn't know that was well, maybe I did know that was a cover, but that's a good pick.
I love Lauryn Hill, so
great voice, horrible person.
Yeah. Well, Wyclef Jean's the real star of that group.
Probably. I like Wyclef, and he's, pretty good characters as far as I can tell. Yeah, good pick.
I'm debating on whether I go with a pander pick for my last one.
I feel like you already did that with your Chris Stapleton JT pick.
True.
But you could do it again.
Fuck it. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, number 5.
Okay.
Well, what more do I need to say about that? I mean,
who does the original?
Dolly Parton.
Okay.
I believe Dolly Parton gets a little bit of royalties every time that song's played.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I always worry about like picking covers that are better than the original, or I was worried about that.
True.
But regardless, that's a good pick on your part.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Now you have some honorable mentions, right?
Of course.
It's interesting that like most of the songs that you have picked have not been on mine, and you haven't heard of 2 of mine. So I kind of think like this was a broad enough one where it's like we didn't mess with each other's stuff.
Exactly.
Which is kind of fun.
And the thing is like a while later, like maybe a week or so later, we'll be listening to a song and be like, ah, shit.
Then that's how this one is gonna be. Like
yeah.
This isn't a topic that I was able to think about in a day. Like this had to be something in the back of my mind all week because there's so many.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm decided. You like pop goes punk. I like pop goes punk. I'm gonna go with a song off of one of those. I'm not gonna go with Hands Like Houses by Torn, although I do love that song.
You mean Torn by Hands Like Houses?
Sorry, yeah, Torn by Hands Like Houses. Sorry, I've had some beers too.
Here I am with my Coke Zero.
you put vodka in that. I know you did. The fun thing with punk goes pop is it introduces you to a lot of artists. Silverstein.
You mentioned it. Thank you.
There was a really good cover of Royals that I liked a lot. This is kind of like the band that you mentioned, where it's like it was good. I never heard anything else by that band.
Exactly.
However, this is the first song that I'd heard by this band, and I became a fan because of it. And it's such a different take on it from the original. You're gonna like, I kind of know your reaction, but you picked your 5, so I don't feel bad. Blank Space by I Prevail.
That would have. I didn't write it down. I have a different cover of Blank Space.
Is it the one by Imagine Dragons?
No.
That's good because that's not very good.
But that is the song that introduced not just you to I Prevail, it introduced the world to I Prevail.
Yeah.
They blew up because of that.
I listened to a lot of that album that came out shortly after that, and it's like, this is a good band.
Mm-hmm. And then their second album is probably arguably maybe one of the best albums of the past 5 years.
Quite possibly.
I forgot to write that down. Blank space. All right. So the blank space cover that I have is I mean we kind of I don't know if this guy's been canceled yet, but Ryan Adams.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, but he did a cover of Blank Space. He did a cover.
Did he?
He did not just that. He did a cover of the entire 1989 album.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What's it called? 1989.
Like reimagined, I think, or something like that.
I'll have to listen to that. I didn't know that was a thing.
So like his cover of I think it was Style. His cover of Style is funky and it's kind of cool.
Nice.
But his cover of Wonderwall is probably my favorite cover. One of my favorite covers.
Okay.
That he does.
Okay.
We mentioned it last week. Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor, cover of Prince.
Yep, that's a good song too.
The Real World by State Champs, I love.
Okay.
It's a Maroon 5, or not Maroon 5, Matchbox 20 cover.
Yep. I haven't heard the cover, but I do love Real World.
Hurt by Johnny Cash. I'm surprised none of us took it.
Okay, but that I won't ever compare that as I won't think of it as a cover. It's a different song.
Yeah.
It's a completely different song. It's the same lyrics, the same progression, but that is not a cover. That is a different song.
Okay.
And it has two completely different meanings.
Yeah.
You have Trent Reznor reflecting on all the damage he did from all his heroin habits. And then you have Johnny Cash who's looking back on it as a life of success.
Speaking of Trent Reznor, I reviewed it in this past Saturday's Millard with the Music Reviews.
I read it.
Oh, you did? So
I read everything you do.
So Halsey, her new album was produced by Trent Reznor.
I've heard it's awesome. I haven't listened to it yet. I've working 11-hour days and places with not a lot of service. I haven't checked it out yet, but I do intend on it.
Okay. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. The album art is interesting because she's kind of topless, but it's a kind of like there's like an art thing to it. Like it's a reimagining of an art painting, I think is what it is.
I'm glad she broke up with G-Eazy.
Thank you. Me too.
I like G-Eazy stuff sometimes, but that guy's a douche.
That Me, Myself, and I song he did with, I think it was Baby Rexha.
Yep.
Whoa, what the hell? What are you doing?
Hey.
What?
Tune in.
What? Okay.
It's just in. G-Eazy is a douchebag.
Holy moly. Anyways, I did not know that Fancy by Reba McEntire was a cover until I researched this.
Sure.
Then from the Pop Goes Punk, Everywhere by Yellow Card, Rolling in the Deep by Go Radio, and Somebody That I Used to Know by Mayday Parade.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
And then Everything That a Day to Remember has ever done.
Everything a Day to Remember has ever done. Anything New Found Glory has ever done. A lot of the stuff Real Big Fish has ever done. Those are some just good bands. They have their own stuff, but their covers are top notch. Hey, eyes up here, buddy. Hey, turn me up.
Son, where's the clicker?
No, don't change it.
Oh my God.
So I'll go through. It was hard for me not to pick Careless Whisper by Seether.
Oh. Fuck.
We talked about it last week. Boys of Summer by the Ataris.
Yep.
I love that song. I didn't pick this next one because it's too similar to for me to really pick it, but Higher Ground by the Chili Peppers.
Ooh, I saw that one. I am a little surprised neither of us took Wagon Wheel.
No, I'm not picking Hootiest.
No, by Old Crow Medicine Show.
Oh yeah. Well, but nobody would think of that as a cover.
True. No, nobody remembers the Dylan version.
No. Speaking of the Dylan version,
All
Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
Yep. I thought you were gonna go Knocking on Heaven's Door by.
I would also say Desolation Roll by My Chemical Romance.
Ooh.
And the last honorable mention I have, I don't know if you watch it. I feel like you'd be into it. It's a show called Black Mirror.
I've seen a little bit of it, yeah.
Okay, so there's an episode with Hannah Montana on there, and she goes by Ashley O, and she covers 2 Nine Inch Nails songs.
Okay. Do you know we talked about her. That's supposedly, I don't know if it's about Halsey, but it's inspired by her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went with On a Roll, which is it's not a cover because she switches the lyrics, but it's a cover of Head Like a Hole. Okay. And then she also does like which I love, and then she also does a version of Right Where It Belongs, which is my favorite kind of sad Nine Inch Nail song because Hurt is too hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Not for because I've done heroin, just because you can tell Trent Reznor's gone through a lot of stuff. But anyway, good picks, buddy. But at the end of the day, I'm number one.
Yeah.
Me, I'm number one. But yeah, that was a fun topic to go with.
You gonna be available for next week? Because I have an idea for next week.
Okay, what do you want to go with?
So in response to our friends at Dog Walk doing a favorite fruits draft,
ooh,
we should do a favorite vegetables draft.
Uh-oh. I'm so screwed. I like 2. But I'll do it. Okay. Because I'm so out of my elements here.
Wait, you only like 2 vegetables?
I like more than 2 vegetables.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big I need a Blue's Clues TV show to help me buy a house and also to remind me to eat vegetables.
I don't want broccoli.
I don't eat it. Like I haven't eaten it since I was a kid.
Dude, whenever I go to we'll preview it a little bit here. But whenever I go to Hoo Hot, I always get like the carrots and the broccoli.
Something about like Asian food and broccoli makes it better.
Yeah.
The China buffet in Pier, the beef and broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's so like I'll eat broccoli then, but just like because it's been cooked and sitting in beef gravy like for 5 hours. Like, and this isn't so bad.
And there's a possibility that probably the one vegetable I feel like that gets the most hate, there's a possibility that gets picked next week.
Intriguing. So we might have to go over what does not count as a vegetable.
Okay, so tomatoes do not count.
Okay. Is that the only one?
Eggplant does not count because that's a fruit.
I don't like eggplant anyway, so.
Okay, neither do I. Potatoes are a starch.
Do they count?
They're not really a vegetable.
Every single white girl in America is going to be mad at you for saying that. But I agree. Yeah. It's not. Potato is a tuber. It is not a vegetable.
Yeah. So like, is a pumpkin a vegetable?
I think it's in the watermelon family.
Is it?
Maybe. Huh. We might be too dumb to do this. What is vegetable? How
many different variations of corn can we name? Or peppers, for that matter. How many different kinds of peppers?
Canned corn, corn on the cob, I guess cream corn and carrots
and Jolly Green Giant cans. Oh my god.
Okay, I think I can come up with five.
Okay.
Five pretty good ones.
Okay. So
however, this is like it's gonna spur a lot of like controversy. Like this dipshit just picked pickles.
Hey now. It's cucumbers. Pickles are
but I don't like cucumbers.
Well, first of all, you can't pick cucumbers because you don't have the Lyman school record for eating pickles.
Cucumber.
This guy does.
You have the Lyman record for how many pickles did you eat?
I think I ate like 30.
What?
Yeah.
When was this?
At a basketball game in like second grade.
30 pickles. Oh my god. I love turned into a pickle. Apparently.
Yeah, my mom used to say, you're gonna eat so many of those, you're gonna turn into one. So I was like, yeah, well, of course.
It does sound like a Vicky.
Yeah. So thanks for coming, and that's our show.